This is the Hot Take Hockey Podcast with your hosts, Lucas and John Viveiros.
I know there's a lot of Leaf fans out there that are trying to push for this Tyler Bertuzzi train. I want to throw up the free agency stuff here in a second just to give us like a few predictions, and I'll do my official one in the weeks leading up. But I guess for you, do you have one guy in mind? And then we're going to transition to NHL in general. But for the Toronto Maple Leafs, free agency, do you have one guy in mind that you're like, okay, I really want the Leafs to go after, outside of like just the guys to re-sign? Because everyone's on this Tyler Bertuzzi wagon. Is there anyone else? Like, is there a guy out there?
There's a couple that come to mind. I mean, I've always been a huge Matt Dumba guy. I know his career trajectory recently has sort of dipped.
Yeah.
So he intrigues me depending on what that price looks like. Judas has always been on my list when he doesn't have a contract.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to get paid this year now after what he's done.
Yeah.
The one I will throw out there, which is funny because off the top of the show when we were talking off air, I said I might stay away from this guy. But Max Pacioretty, I feel like with that uncertainty of that injury, is going to bring that cost down. And if Max Pacioretty is getting added to your lineup in whenever he's healthy, October, November, or Christmas time, you don't necessarily know what you got there. But even if he's 75% of what he is, I feel like what an add of value that could possibly be for their forward group. There's no way Max Pacioretty is getting a big deal anymore, right? It's probably a 1-year deal. I mean, maybe it's 2.
Yeah.
I can't see him getting anything longer than that with his age and with the injury history. But that guy's leadership qualities, being a captain for Montreal, which would just be a sick storyline too, for him coming to Toronto, I think would be a sweet add. Those are kind of the ones that pop off, at the top of my list, because also the Leafs got to be careful that they're not binding themselves to contracts that are going to be boat anchors, which could be Bunting or O'Reilly if those markets emerge for those guys, right?
Yeah, I think, man, to me, I'm kind of way past the Bunting scenario, but like, if I'm talking about like, I don't know, like investment and like I'm actually going to be pretty down bad if the Leafs don't bring back at least 2 of O'Reilly, Achari, Shen. I just think the presence they brought, like, I think looking at, the Leafs would have had another first round exit if they didn't bring in Shen and O'Reilly. Like, I am so confident in that, like 100%. Like, if they didn't bring in O'Reilly and Shen, it was another first round exit, like 100%. So essentially, if you guys all want to hate on Dubas, I don't love how it transpired, but it's
I'm a Dubas guy, you know me.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, I'm straight out saying, criticize how Dubas built the roster over time, but it's like, I'm telling you right now, if he didn't make those 2 moves, like the Leafs were done in the first round. So all I'm saying is, like, I think you need to bring those 2 guys back. If you can. I know you got the Blues hat on. I know there's been a lot of speculation and probably a lot of chatter just among Blues players that like they think there's a good chance O'Reilly will come back. And I think that's just like the relationships that O'Reilly's built with a lot of the Blues players. So like, that's not a shocker. Obviously there's a bunch of guys on St. Louis also that are from Ontario. So that like adds to that conversation. So yeah, man, I think if I had it like my way, our way, like I think O'Reilly, Shen, Achari are all Leafs going next season. I'm willing to move on from Bunting. And honestly, as we just talked about, I'm very okay with trading a guy like TJ Brody, Calle Yarncrow, dump that Matt Murray contract.
This whole Luke Shen thing, I just want to touch on it quick because it just brought me back to before they acquired him and we talked about him being a fit and how excited I got. I've kind of gone the reverse of that now. And all this talk of Luke Shen coming back has made me question it and just walk away and be like, I've accepted he's not coming back. Just for my heart, man, because if he comes back, I will be through the moon happy. But I don't want to say anything yet because, there's a good chance that he gets a 2-year deal or something that might scare the Leafs away. I think he's a great fit. I think he should finish his career here as far as I'm concerned, but we'll see. We'll see where that goes. I did want to say Connor Brown, though, former Leaf. I know you shouldn't get tied to all the storylines, but I think Connor Brown has shown in his career, no matter who he's played with, especially when it's skilled players, he can really have an impact as the third cog on a good line. So I think he would be a really, really good fit for the Leafs. I think Kyle Dubas might go after him too. I think Dubas is going to go after some of these Leaf guys that hit the market. You never know. He might even pry away he might give offers to who knows, like a Luke Shen and scare him off, right?
Yeah, no, I think if I'm looking at Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking at the potential of like Bunting, Connor Brown, some of these guys that like Dubas has seen for sure.